What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Off the Top Rope, Off the Mic Sports Network. More Clueless creative from AEW and Tony Khan. On Collision, we brought out Colt Cabana. They dusted Colt Cabana off to do commentary, only to write him off 30 minutes into the show and get beaten to bits, bloodied by the Death Riders. Okay, cool. I mean, some people were honestly thinking this was a straight shot at CM Punk. Okay, cool. But I need to illustrate a point. On Collision, it was announced that Hangman Adam Page is going to face Wheeler Yuta in a non-title match on next week's Dynamite from Chicago as part of their residency. They're there for 3 weeks. What good does this do for Hangman Adam Page? Like, Hangman conquered the Death Riders. Why is he still fighting them? And better yet, why the fuck is he fighting Wheeler Yuta? Like, this should have been Hangman. Like, listen, I don't think Hangman should have been wrestling last week, but last week he should have pinned Moxley and just ended the thing. Because Moxley's got to get more fish to fry with Darby Allin. What I think they're doing is they're trying to stretch the thing out to blood and guts, which I think is stupid. Like, listen, Hangman's got nothing to do with the Death Riders anymore. This guy won. He won and conquered John Moxley. To me, there doesn't need to be another match. He won a Texas death match in their biggest show in North America, their biggest show of the year. And their follow-up is, let's throw him in a random trios match and let's throw him in a random singles match back-to-back weeks. I understand that this is where the best wrestle, but you do not need to be continuously putting your world heavyweight champion into consistent nothing matches that absolutely accomplish nothing from a storyline perspective. I get it. You got 6 weeks to get to Forbidden Door. And maybe you're still trying to figure out what's going on, but at least you could try and, get some sort of, thing towards a pattern towards what you want to do with Hangman. The guy just won the World Heavyweight Championship. You just saw the World Championship for the first time in 9 months. And him cutting promos and, maybe, Tony Khan's favorite thing to do is, creating a tournament. Listen, like, I get it. There's some element like, hey, they want to keep this whole thing going with Hangman, the ops. Swerve's obviously out of the picture because now he's going to go fight Okada. The Young Bucks maybe are still potentially embroiled in this, whatever. I don't know. And they're trying to figure out what they want to do for that blood and guts stipulation. But listen, I'm done caring about the Death Riders. We got the payoff. We saw the World Championship. It got a pop. Let's not try to rewrite history. For 7 or 8 months of this storyline, this storyline was dog shit. It was dog shit. And even the hardest of hardcore sickos have to admit, the Death Riders kind of killed this company a little bit. And you mean to tell me that throwing your world champion 2 weeks after he won it into a match against Wheeler Yuta, which better be a fucking squash, because Wheeler Yuta doesn't mean anything in this company. He's an emo whipping boy for this team. I used to think Wheeler Yuta can probably be an adequate he can be an adequate wrestler. Nobody gives a shit about him. So 2 weeks after your biggest show of the year, you're throwing Hangman Adam Page into a match still with the Death Riders against what, their least important guy? Really? Gabe Kidd's not there. Gabe Kidd's at the G1. He's an honorary Death Rider. Claudio, not even close. And, even then, I don't think you should be throwing Claudio. They've managed to make Claudio Castagnoli insignificant. He's a beast. He's an incredible wrestler, but nobody cares about him. Because all he's there, he's just a henchman for Moxley. Marina Shafir, no, you're not going to have Hangman beat Marina, even though he Death Valley drivered her at the pay-per-view. But it's just, this is dumb creative. This is just, blasphemous and just, completely inept of any form of creativity. Because conventional wisdom would tell you, coming off of your WrestleMania, that you're not going to go back to the same thing. And I know some people are saying, well, WWE is going back to John Cena, Cody Rhodes. Yeah, they didn't go back to it right away. Like, you can go back to listen, in this case, I don't think you should go back to it. Yeah, you can build to another thing, but you don't have to do a rematch, like, right off of a WrestleMania title match, or, in this case, an All In Texas title match, let alone a Texas death match. But then to throw one of your most insignificant members into a match with the world champion for no reason whatsoever, other than the fact that they're, you know, by association of, like, by the fact, the story that's really needs to be told is Darby Allin. Darby Allin's back. He's a big reason why the Death Riders lost that match. Where the fuck's Darby Allin? Like, Hangman doesn't need to fucking wrestle. I get he's the world champion, but, you know, if you're gonna just throw him out there in non-title matches, that doesn't do anything for him. You should be building he shouldn't be the one wrestling. People should be wrestling for the right to face him. That should be a fucking prize. And I love Hangman. I've said it before. I think he is the face of this company. I think he is the main character of this company. But you have got to start booking him like that. Whereas this is not it. Like, this is not how you book your main character. He beat a heel faction at your biggest show of the year. That heel faction, based off what the story is being told, should be going off and venturing after Darby Allin. Instead, Hangman's just wrestling a nothing match against Wheeler Yuta. And I swear to God, if this goes longer than 5 minutes, this is a fucking fail. Like, what does this accomplish if Hangman is wrestling more than 5 minutes against the geek of this faction? The guy who should be getting killed. Hangman should absolutely fucking murder Wheeler Yuta. And if this is the main event, I don't even know what the fuck to say. Like, Hangman should just kill this guy and beat him in like a minute, 2 minutes tops. Wheeler Yuta is an accomplished wrestler, but he has not been presented in even a remotely interesting enough way where he has any right to be in the ring with the world champion in a one-on-one situation. Non-title or title, I don't care. Like, this is such bullshit creative. And I feared this the minute that Hangman won. And I saw it happen where you didn't have a compelling follow-up to what was going on. Like I said, I love Hangman, but the bigger story with the Death Riders is what's going on with, you know, Darby Allin. And why the fuck are the Death Riders beating up Colt Cabana? Dark Order? Because it's a loose connection between Dark Order and Hangman, and then we're doing this again like 4 years later? Really? What the fuck is Tony Khan thinking, man? Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.